Hello everybody, my name is Evan Edinger, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Reddit. Today's Ask Reddit thread in question is, what is a common slang in your language that would sound hilarious or bizarre to a foreigner? These are some of my favorite type of threads, just because I love learning languages. You might know me as that Duolingo guy, and these are always a fun way to understand other people's culture. Also, by the way, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. You'll hear more about them at the end of the video. But what is the first common slang? First up is taking one's pants off to fart. It means doing something extra and redundant. You know, I really love just how visual the imagery is. Yeah, you're right. It is very redundant and extra. It kind of reminds me of Butters from South Park pulling his entirety of his pants down and lifting up his shirt just to pee in the urinal. Or the loo, you could say. If you're wondering what language this is in to take your pants off to fart, according to this user, it is Mandarin, and I believe it is Toi ku fang pi, or I think that pretty much means like take off pants, let go pee. I'm not really good at Mandarin, so you're probably better than me. Lovely. Mandarin, a beautiful language, a beautiful fruit. Next up, you had to imagine there was gonna be some good English ones in here. We have, I imagine that choking the chicken as slang for masturbation comes off humorously to non-native speakers. Just imagining yet again the imagery of just actually like, why you little, like, you know, Homer Simpsoning a chicken. God, that's made the imagery a lot worse. I don't want to think of Homer's schlong. But it turns out in some Spanish-speaking countries, they don't choke chickens, they choke geese, which I think makes more sense. Geese are evil, so good. Caressing the champion? Gonna go caress the champion. Wow. We've got messing the parrot's hair. We have pulling it. That, yeah, standard. Dedicate one. I'm gonna go dedicate one to my homies. Then we have a jacket. We have hay. Then we have gayola. Or IDK if it means something besides, I don't know, I've never heard of gayola before. No one in Spain has ever been like, hey, wanna gayola with me? Because then it wouldn't be a gayola, I suppose. Gayolo. 5 against the ball guy. Sounds like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Waxing the dolphin. Reminds me of Get Smart. There was a line that always stuck with me of, I've gotta go squeeze the lemon. Not my language, but one of my best friends is Hungarian. When you're juggling a lot of work at school, multitasking, or just a ton of stuff and you feel overwhelmed, they say, Bekergetik tatot sayal a fazer durbe. It means, they chased me into a dick forest with a wide open mouth. Amazing! Makes me hungry for running through a dick forest with a wide open mouth. That sounds like something out of like Superbad, like some drawings in his notebook of like a penis forest. Beautiful imagery in this entire thread. Lovely. This is by far my favorite metaphor / cultural colloquialism. I understand the sentiment, but it's not something I could use in my native tongue. I think that you should. As English speakers, we owe it to ourselves to add this to our vernacular. So the next time someone feels overwhelmed, maybe they're a YouTuber and they're feeling a bit burnt out, making a little burnt out video, just leave a comment and be like, mate, Bekergetik tatot sayal a fazer durbe. You know, stop getting chased into that dick forest with your open mouth. Come on, guy. Oh boy, seems Hungarian has quite a few of these dick-related idioms. I'm not gonna try and pronounce all these. I don't know much Hungarian. We have horse's dick with whipped cream. Oh, that means bullshit. I was gonna say it sounds delicious, and I just wanna throw it out there. It does not sound delicious. I don't know why I thought that. I was just like, whipped cream, yum, ignoring the fact that it is on a horse's, let's see, like slapping doing something useless. We have more, we have smacking stinging nettle with someone else's dick. Lovely. Oh my God, ow. I actually went to Derby the other day and went to Castleton. I was taking a nice group photo, and then you might see this photo of me and be like, oh, what a nice wide smile. No, that was a smile of pain, because when I went to put my arms around, well, I just smacked into a loaded bit of nettle, so I actually have not been stung by nettles that often. I'd rather just sting my friend's dick with it instead. So smacking stinging nettle with someone else's dick means telling someone how to do something with no intention of helping or doing it yourself. Oh, that is perfect. It reminds me of I think German has an idiom, which is essentially, most of them have to do with sausage or food in some way, and it directly translates to, you always have to add your mustard to everything. Kind of similar. If you haven't seen my video on all the funny German idioms, it's very good, so give that a watch. You know, like, alles hat eine Ende, nur eine Wurst hat zwei. Everything has an end. Only a sausage has two. We have a couple more here in Hungarian. This guy's providing me with the content. Standing like a priest's dick at a wedding reception. That one's self-explanatory. I guess in English we'd say, you're standing around with your hand up your ass. Or at least I was shouted that in Scouts quite a few times. You know, you're just loafing around, you're not doing work, you gotta put your hands to work. and get your hands out of your ass. Get f***ed by a wheelbarrow full of tiny monkeys. Yeah, get f***ed by a wheelbarrow full of tiny monkeys. What lovely little imagery. Just a general insult. By the way, if you might ask why there are tiny monkeys in the wheelbarrow, it's because you can fit more of them in the wheelbarrow. I'm sure we have similars in the US. You can't make bacon out of dogs. Oh, you can't change the nature of something. All right, in English we have you can't teach a dog new tricks. And Hungarian, they're like, you can teach dog new trick, but you can't make bacon out of dog. Next up, we have having a chess match with the Pope. Means to take a shit. I've actually used that before. I feel like I'm more of a, I've got to go take the Browns to the Super Bowl type guy, though that really doesn't land in the UK where they're like, Super Bowl? Usually I just don't say anything at all. I just disappear. When I was in Ireland, I felt like every person was using the expression, I've got to go freshen up. So I was like, are you just trying to like be polite? Turns out, yeah. And actually, it was rude of me to be like, when you say freshen up, are you taking a dump? Yes. All right, next up, giving birth to a politician. Interesting. In Swedish, we would say building a teddy bear for taking a shit. Oh, I'm just popping down to Build-A-Bear Workshop. Lovely. Sweden, that's amazing. All right, we have, we're not here to spiders. It means we aren't here to around and waste time. Lovely Australians said their spider-related idioms. We're not here to put shoes on a millipede. That's actually quite cute. That sounds like something I'd hear in like a children's program. Oh, next up we have an English one I'm assuming English speakers here know of, such as at the ass of the world. Now, I've actually not heard of that. I have heard at the ass crack of the world. Where I'm from, we say East Bump or East Gibbet. I don't know where those have come from, just vernacular from mine. In the UK, I believe there are similar ones. What do we got? Anyone else? Arse end of nowhere. There you go. There's your more British version. In Italian, we say the same thing. We say in the asses of the wolves. Ah. And I'll throw in an extra one there because I do know way too many German idioms. In Germany, when you're in the middle of nowhere, you can say, wo sich Fuchs und Hase gute Nacht sagen, or where the fox and the hare say good night. You know, you're in such a middle of nowhere that they're no longer fighting. Little rabbits, little foxes, they're like, gute Nacht, schlafen Sie gut, have a nice night, which is quite cute. I like the imagery. Oh, in Canada, the expression isn't as cute as German. It's, in the dog. Okay, Canada. In Mexico, we have no le busques chichis a las lagartijas. Roughly, don't look for tits on lizards. Beautiful. Gracias, gracias a Mexico. Oh! In French, a language that I am going to butcher, and I'm so not désolé, we have French. Les trous de sous de monde. Try my best. Je ne sais pas. Je ne parle pas français. German. Source. Am German. Sincerely yours, German. P.S. German. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Oh, when you're in the ass crack of the world. Oh, we're still on this? All right, thanks, France. Oh, we have some variants. You can go to where the pepper grows. Then we have Ich steck's dir dahin, wo die Sonne nie hinscheint. I'll put it where the sun never shines. Basically, we have that in English. I think my personal favorites are heaven and pancake to express surprise or exasperation. And this didn't taste like the wrestler's pants as a compliment on their cooking. Maybe they should have used today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. Oh, wow, I cannot believe that is a perfect segue. I bet some of y'all think that I actually only wear this outfit for spawns. Incorrect. I enjoy dressing up to cook because it's fun. Now, some of you might not yet have the skill of cooking. For me, one of the biggest barriers genuinely was not knowing what to do, like where to start. I was like, what meals do I make? Then I have to go and get ingredients and I don't know like how much of each and am I gonna have wastage, and overwhelmed me a bit. Luckily, HelloFresh actually solves this type of problem. Here's how it works. At the beginning of your week, you just log on to HelloFresh and you tell them what type of recipes you like. They've got lots of options. They've got quick ones, easy ones, complex ones, weekday favorites. Then you get your HelloFresh box in the mail, full of fresh ingredients and your little recipe cards. You know exactly what to do and everything has just the right portions. The one I'm cooking today is actually one of their quick ones that's only 25 minutes long, and it's a simple chicken tikka masala that's tasty, helped me hit my macros, and I've even got leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Now, I did have to double check to make sure they gave me the right code to give you, because the one they gave me is, well, it's better than anything they've ever given me to give you before. One, if you use my link in the description or use code Evan6020, not only do you get 60% off your first box, but you also get 20% off the next 2 boxes, and this is the part I was surprised with, you get free desserts for life.
I mean, it sounds like a prize to me.
So like I said, just click my link in the description. It's a QR code. Use code Evan6020 at checkout and get yourself cooking. Thank you very much to HelloFresh, as usual, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to some Reddit slang. Welcome back, welcome back. So we have putting the word absolute or complete before literally any noun, and it immediately becomes an insult. You absolute teaspoon. Yeah, you absolute buffoon. That already works. You absolute LED light. I don't think that works. You absolute melt. Oh, I do love melt. Melt is already an insult though. You melt. Absolute melt. Well, at least you didn't call them an absolute grilled cheese. They don't call it grilled cheese in the UK. They call it cheese toasty. They literally don't put the bread on top. They just put it in the oven. It's not as good. Absolute unit. Someone's asking, what does absolute unit mean? What does it sound like? My girlfriend's brother, an absolute unit. This lens? That's an absolute unit, mate. Look at him. He's a big old Chad. You know, big unit. Let's see. I always thought the ass crack of dawn or butter my backside and call me a biscuit might severely confuse foreigners. How often are people using these two expressions? To be fair, I have heard ass crack of dawn quite a lot. I have said, well, butter my backside and call me a biscuit, but that's just because it was an episode of Teen Titans I watched when I was like, I don't know, 13, and I went, that's funny. That's my personality for 3 years. Yeah, all right. In South Carolina, USA, the term shag is a type of dance. Is it? I mean, in the UK, it's definitely it's a type of dance. It's quite magical, really. You one step in, you take your one, no, it's not a step in, is it? It's something else you put in. Anyway, you should have seen the faces of my British friends when I told them I used to shag on local TV when I was a kid. They'd be like, hey, we understand. You're from South Carolina. I know what you like there. We've seen the news. I feel like British people don't know where South Carolina is on the map, but it has the word South in it. And outside of like South Dakota, they're probably like, yeah, it's probably in the South. Yeah, no, yeah. No, yeah. Russians have yes, no, maybe. And Bob's your uncle. And Fanny's your aunt. At Cox's place, really far away. Then we have shitting and walking, not caring. Yet again, I really like the ones that evoke this beautiful visualization in my brain. We have not even what language is this? Foot on to balls. What is this, Yorkshire slang? Name the bulls. Name the culprits. Then we have train. It means thing. Okay, this has gotta be like Scottish at this point, right? Ball slobberers, so much more. What language? Brazilian Portuguese. Wow, Brazilian Portuguese. They all be like ball slobbering and you're not even. I've actually been to Salvador in Brazil and to Rio de Janeiro. I did a little travel vlog with my friend Ellie while I was there. That's fun times. Next up, we have, I went to college with a Hispanic lady and English was her second language. She was a little confused when we were talking about a lab test for a live liver enzyme that helps doctors see if patients have fallen off the wagon. We had to explain the idiom wasn't literal and meant that the patient started drinking alcohol in excess after getting sober. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what that meant. When you said falling off the wagon, I thought they're dead because they were on a wagon and they fell off. Question, chat. Anyone tell me, is this normal? Have you heard this? All right, few more. We've got doing something redundant is carrying owls to Athens. In my dialect, telling someone to go screw themselves is either you can slide down my back or you can climb into my pocket. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Would you be so kind to repeat what you just said, please? What is this, Andrew Ryan? What's going on here, Atlas? Said in my dialect means very clearly, you now have this one chance to retract your comment. Would you be so kind as to repeat what you just said, please? Okay. I feel like that could be a thing in like middle school, maybe elementary school. It's all sausage to me. It's gotta be German, right? Alles ist mir Wurst. Netherlands. It's Netherlands. Interesting. The Netherlands also have sausage-related idioms. Lovely. Female sparrow means vagina. To lemon means French kissing, because falling as a bean. Happening in the right moment. Don't you love it when you're falling as a bean? Flowers on my dick and bees all around. It means you don't care. To lay a peach means to take a shit. We have to fart higher than one's ass means to brag. You're farting higher than your ass right now, my man. Oh, we have some Italian. Ho fatto la gatta, which means I did the female cat. It means you got too drunk. Oh, in German they have the same thing. Ich habe ein Kater, except it's a male cat. In Germany, when you're hungover, you're having a male cat, ein Kater. You broke my you annoyed me too much. Great. In Texas, we say, we are fixing to go to the store. Oh, I love that one. Is that Texan? I feel like I've heard that in South Jersey as well. So like, that's quite interesting. That dog don't hunt. Don't you also say, that boy ain't right? All hat, no cattle. That is a famous Texan expression. Someone who looks the part and talks the talk, but that's it. They don't walk the walk. He's all hat, No cattle. Well, that about does it for today's video. But if you know any slang or idioms in your language that were sadly left out of this thread, please leave a comment below so we can all laugh at them together. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch another one of my Reddit videos, I've got quite a few. You can click and watch from this playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back on my channel this upcoming Sunday, as always. Goodbye.